you are. Is everybody okay?
I consent to one touching, but I don't know about this.
It's for Lindsay and Jen. And hopefully Sarah. I do have orientation.
I don't know.
Usually what I tell my students, hi, your friends are probably seeing this now. Okay. Hey.
The
Yeah.
stuff they have on the internet on me is already awful, so.
Oh my goodness, he so fits in with your group. I mean, I can't. Stu. You can come and do yoga with us. I don't offer hot naked yoga, but you could come down and take Saturday mornings is what I normally
I've
do.
only done Bikram like once.
Okay.
It's really nice.
Oh, I gotta watch it. It's tough, I heard. Yeah. Not your thing, right?
Lindsay did naked yoga once in New York at the Red article for Mind Body Korea.
Oh, she did it?
The article, my favorite part of the article is her describing how profoundly unsexy it was. And,
I could see that.
and then like a lot of the class for her was like, oh, there's so many handlers in this room.
Oh my gosh.
None of you done the surgery.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand handouts for you guys. Well, because you had mentioned New Year's resolution kind of theme, so you can, and I can give you 2 copies if you want to send them to your friends.
Well, Megan, Rob, and I all love homework.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Thank you for excluding me.
You guys are good students.
Those who are best in school.
Okay. Okay, I can read them to you. You guys are cracking me
Not my
up.
glasses.
This is gonna be fun. I can tell already. We gotta figure out the situation. Hold on, please. All right.
Are these cheaters? Because cheaters.
No, they're not.
Oh, God, you're blind.
Okay, so I was thinking about, Jessica's, I love how I said Jessica, I'm so not in the group, Jessie. I was thinking about her request around the theme of New Year's resolution, and this word resolution to me feels very finite, and I think yoga is not a finite thing, right? Like you don't come to yoga and you don't get a diploma or you don't become a master and, poof into thin air or whatever. That's what we're all striving, but we have these human bodies. So the purpose of practicing yoga, right, is to have an experience, to have a journey, so to speak. So like resolve, resolute, it just makes me think of this more finite concept. So when I think about resolution, what it means in yogic terms, we can turn to the yamas. So these, here I have the 8 limbs of yoga, and the 8 limbs of yoga they're basically guidelines to live a more ethical life if you want to lead a more yogic lifestyle. And specifically, if you look at the first 2, yamas and niyamas, what I love about this is they ask of you to do less. So at the turn of the new year, we want to do more. We want to do all the things. We want to work out the 4 times a week, and we want to, eat more fruits and vegetables and less sugar, and we want to call our mom more, and we want to do more. And if we look to the first 2 limbs, yamas and niyamas, they're actually restraining us and telling us do less, and they're specifically like moral guidelines as to how to treat your inner self. So if you first look at the yamas on the top right corner, these are social ethics, nonviolence, okay, reducing harm, truth, I guess I can say them in Sanskrit, ahimsa, that's nonviolence, satya, which is truth, asteya, non-stealing. I love that one because it's not just, we think of material, but it's not stealing someone's time. It's not stealing your own intuition. As women, that's a really big one, just going with your gut and not being influenced by others. Brahmacharya, so that's the appropriate use of energy, our creative energy, our sexual energy. How are we engaging in our power and our energy. Aparigraha, which is non-possessiveness. In yoga, this is always, it's a big lesson that, you know, we work for something. So even in our resolve this year and the things that we hope to attain this year, there has to be a certain degree of letting it go, right? Because that then pride and ego start to fill up the space, the room of our mind, you know? And again, I'm going to bring it back to that remembrance that we're human. So we have a mind, we have an ego. It's just like, how are we adapting so that we have this healthy view of things? Like, can we put our intentions out there and make every action with the best intention? Can we put that forward, but then to some degree, surrender it and let it go? They teach in the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the primary sacred texts, you know, go forth in the world and like do your dharma, you know, extol your gifts. However, do not attach to them. The fruits of your labors are not yours. That's really hard, right? We work really hard for something, and then it's like, and you're trying to tell me that I don't get a party after my PhD? But, you know, have the party, but it's like the party is celebrating, it's the gratitude. It's that this work is coming through. It's that this class you are deserving because the work is coming through you. You know, so there's a certain humility. And also because you are supported. I mean, look at you all here. See, what's so sweet about this group is you are like family. Like, you've been supporting one another since you were 2 and 3, you know? So like, you are supported also by this bigger energy. So I love that one. And then if we go to the bottom right corner of the page, personal ethics, or the niyamas, saucha, so practicing purity and cleanliness. And I'm sorry, I switched them. The yamas are how to engage socially, and the niyamas are our personal internal guidelines. So purity and cleanliness, hopefully all showered today. I didn't. Check mark off. Aren't you guys a bunch of hippies? I mean, Hereford Zone.
I've got 2 in this week and I'm feeling good.
Me too. Santosha, which is contentment. Tapas. Okay, so this is change. This is like the place of transformation and manifestation, which, Jesse, you're experiencing a lot of that right now in your body. Svadhyaya, so self-study and observation. If you all were willing to come and you know, to do this class, to co-create this together, I would say your svadhyaya is strong, just your desire to know more. Most yoga students, you know, will go to a studio class, throw their towel over their shoulder, go home, and, you know, do whatever. Go to happy hour. Not that I'm saying that's not okay too, but like, you know, you've created this space, which really is it's special, you know. So your svadhyaya is strong, and as I know, the 2 front row seats, the students up here. Hope you're paying attention to your homework. And then Ishvara Pranidhana, which is devotion and surrender to a higher force. And you'll notice there's a little bit of, you know, there's some similar threads in the yamas and the niyamas. So just completely giving yourself over at some point to going, you know what, like, this is not mine, I surrender. I surrender the PhD, like, let the gift come through me. You know, huge, Jesse, like, I surrender my body, like, right? That's what, when we're pregnant, like, that's what we have to do. It's a borrowed body. All of us, if you are human and human skin here, like, at some point, right, this body is borrowed, it's on loan. Ani DeFranco sings that, you know? I can't remember which, it's a poem that she wrote. Anyway, yeah. So this body is borrowed, right? It's on loan. Like, we do have it for a finite amount of time. You know, there's a whole nother realm we can explore spiritually, as if, you know, or even from a scientific point of view, we decompose, our body breaks down and becomes something new. It becomes the tree outside, it becomes the grass, it becomes food for the worms, you know, right? So I hope that's not like too morbid, but it's the reality of it, you know, right? So I just wanted to offer this because I felt like, okay, this is, you know, so when you're creating your resolutions, like, look to this, right? Because, you know, like, fundamentally what this is illustrating is like, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free, And that's going to lead us into, I'd like to offer a practice of loving kindness today. So we're actually start the practice, it's called metta. And it's the practice of giving ourselves love and then sending it out to someone else and then all beings everywhere. Okay, so you can go ahead and put your homework to the side. I haven't even really created homework with it, but maybe I'll be inspired by the end of class. Get you guys back in here. All right, so take a seat that's comfortable. You want your knees below the hips. And sit tall. Close the eyes or keep the gaze soft. Just come into your natural breath. And at a certain point, when we can forget that we are seeking the breath, that it's already there, we can relax into that state. It's like a relief, right? Like, oh, that's right. The breath is here. It's always supporting. And this is the same invitation in turning over the new year and considering, how are you living your life? Perhaps the invitation is that all your greatest desires, all your resolutions are already affirmed, are already happening. And there's less to do, but there's more just awareness, more waking up to the parts of your life that you already lead with awareness, like pureness of heart, of listening, of surrendering, the gifts, the talents. Like, it can even just be in your relationships and in your families. Like, how do you choose to see one another? How do you choose to see yourself? Is it with a lens of love? Is it with a lens of skepticism or distrust? But how are you already living a life that is led with love, that is inspired, that is empowered, rather than thinking you need to change everything? Keep resting your awareness on the breath, already there for you, not a whole lot to do. And take a moment to notice your attitude. How are you feeling right now in this moment? And then take a moment to consider the word santosha, which you heard in the niyama. Santosha is contentment. Maybe you're feeling a sense of contentment now. If not, that's okay. But I invite you to go to a time where you felt total ease, deep satisfaction, happiness. Maybe you were with someone you love. Maybe it was the sunrise this morning on your face. Maybe it was receiving a gift from someone or hearing the words, "I love you." And what was the felt sense of happiness for you there? Was it the weight of a warm blanket across your lap? Was it someone's arms around you giving you a hug? And as you sense into this state of happiness, repeat the phrase to yourself, "May I be happy." It may help to place one hand across your heart. Sometimes when we're in a tender place and maybe doubt can creep in, like, oh, I'm not deserving of happiness. Just place that hand over your heart and with your best intentions, wholeheartedly believe that you truly deserve to be happy. And if limiting thoughts creep in, which sometimes they will, or maybe some sense of discomfort or even dread, just keep repeating the phrase, just keep practicing. May I be happy. Feel your breath into your hand. Notice the quality of light across your eyelids and just keep repeating the phrase, may I be happy. And then we'll shift the phrase to healthy. Consider a time, when did you last feel just really good in your body, powerful, strong, just mentally clear? Get the felt sense of the phrase, may I be healthy. And again, just putting your whole heart behind it. And even if you're struggling to believe it to be true, it's like yoga. It's a practice. Even observing the one who doesn't believe you can be healthy, even observing and recognizing that thought is a part of this process. So you thank the thought and then you repeat, may I be healthy. Put as much energy of the heart as you can behind it. Place your good intentions behind, may I be healthy. And the third phrase, may I be free. You might take a moment to consider, when is the last time you felt truly free? As close to freedom as we can get, right? So you might go back to a time, maybe you were a child and you felt free of time, you were leaning back in a grassy meadow, maybe it was a time when just like everyone was well in your family, in your close circle of friends. Maybe your mind felt at ease, but just keep repeating the phrase, may I be free. If your mind begins to analyze, just thank the thought and come back to the phrase, may I be free. You might even just feel into the phrase rather than needing to see the words form in your mind's eye, and just rest back into the awareness of what it feels like to be free. Now bring your hands together in front of the heart center. We begin class with the sound of Om. It is said that the sound of Om is the cosmic sound. It is the sound from which we are all born. It is the sound which we will all go back to. And it's also the sound that vibrates even in silence through all things. It's the voice of the heart. So allow yourself to be an instrument for the sound to move through you, so there's no effort. So there's complete surrender. Soften your mind, open your heart, sit tall in your body, and inhale. Bow the head to the heart. Release the hands and blink the eyes open. All right, so go ahead and stretch the feet out. And shake the feet back and forth. Now, practice can be really powerful. One foot across. I'm just going to give the foot a quick massage here. My teacher, Sharon Salzberg, shares a story when she was offering metta, loving kindness. There was an assignment. She had all of her students go out. They were in LA, I think. And for an hour, just practice repeating the phrases and offering it to someone else. So this one woman who was a little bit skeptical about it, she said, okay, I'm going to try my best. And so she sat herself at a bench at a train station. And someone came off the train. She said, okay, here we go. In maybe a minute, she chose a person. And he set his briefcase down. And she started, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free. And after a couple minutes, he looked anxious and nervous. He beelined straight for her. And it's busy. And he came up to her and he said, you know, I don't usually do this, but I'm about to go through something really difficult. And I would like for you to pray for me because it would just help me knowing you're thinking about me. Isn't that bizarre? Yeah. So they have science to prove now that may I be happy when you say those phrases to yourself, or even if you're saying it to someone else, that the individual who's practicing it, you know, like the serotonin and everything is enhanced. They don't have science yet if the other person is affected. They're working on it. But I always say, like, that story is enough for me. Okay, so take your foot in your hands or bring your thumbs right here. And you're going to fold your foot in half like this and then away. So it's the lateral and the medial side you're pulling in and then out a few times. And then you can flex the foot and point it. Good. And then shake that foot out. How have your feet been feeling, Jessie?
So far, so good.
Okay.
So far, so good.
You have a child already,
I
right?
do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Exciting.
Yeah, the only thing that hurts so far is just I have a little bit of round ligament maybe starting.
Oh, yeah.
And my left
I had
foot
that.
tiny bit, but not so far, not
Okay. Yeah, so a little like glutes toned,
bad.
and then just a little navel back will help the round ligaments. I had that pain too. I remember that. All right, so fold your foot like this. Inner edge of the foot and outer edge of the foot. Back and forth. Okay, and then point and flex. And then shake that foot out. Both feet. Okay, let's come on to the hands and knees. So if you're practicing from home, you'll probably want a blanket and maybe a block. So I don't know if you have that. Work with what we have, right? And put this on, just brighten it up in here a little bit. Okay, so let's move through some cat and cow. On all fours, curl the toes under. Inhale, lift the sits bones, lift the heart. And exhale, round the spine. Inhale, open. And exhale, draw in. So as you move through cat and cow, you can repeat the phrases, may I be happy. May I be healthy. And may I be free. At some point, you just want to allow your awareness to kind of feel into the essence behind the words. It becomes more meditative and you don't even have to practice. You don't have to concentrate on the phrase any longer. It will help to calm what we call the vrittis, or the turnings of the mind, right? The thought stream. Repeating the phrase will help to calm the vrittis, which unfortunately most of our vrittis, most of our thought stream are they're negative, can be limiting. It's just human nature. But we can work to shift that. One more full cycle of the breath. Good. Okay, so stretch the right leg back. And with the toes curled under, lift the right hip up. Okay, so much so that there's like a softness here along the inner groin, but the leg is really fired up. Yeah, good. Then lengthen the tailbone, squeeze the glutes. So the glutes are like right here where the hamstring and the butt meet. Squeeze the glutes, pull the navel back. Good, imagine you're pressing through a wall with that heel. Make sure you're not gritting at your teeth. I caught you. And then bring the leg over to the left. I don't know if it's refreshing or not to hear this, but like everything your yoga teacher tells you to do, she or he probably does the same thing in her own practice. Many a time I'm in a pose realizing I'm over-effing. I'm like, oh shit. Breathe, Stephanie, breathe. May you be healthy. That's when I look at myself separate from myself. Normally I go, may I be healthy. Good, and then bring it back. Okay, let's do the same thing on the left leg. So curl the toes under, lift the inner groin towards the ceiling. So the sacrum slides up towards the shoulder blades. Good, there's a softening at the groin there. And then tone that area right where the hamstring and butt meet. Draw your navel back. Good, and then cross the leg over. Soften the facial muscles, maybe even pull the corners of the mouth back as you believe the phrase, may I be happy to be true. And then come back to the middle. Great, right? Stretch the arms out, bring your forehead to the floor. And come onto the finger pads, lifting the inner shoulders and outer shoulders evenly. Good. And right at the back of the shoulder blade tips, maybe there's something that's restraining you, that makes you feel trapped lately. And then just right there, you can just soften across the tops of the shoulders and let the heart lead the way. So let your chest and heart space relax towards the floor. Give yourself a total offering there in the upper body, releasing, freeing the pose. Good, and then from here, curl the toes under and lift the hips up and take downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep that same commitment in the upper back and shoulders. So it's a little harder to do that now with your arms in the overhead plane. And now with weight on the hands. It could also be easier if you feel into the feedback of the floor beneath the hands. Pull the fingertips towards the elbows. Draw the shoulder blade tips towards the spine. And on the next exhale, repeat the phrase, may I be happy. On the next exhale, soften your heart. Look your heart towards the earth. Good. Okay, come back down onto the knees, please, and take your block. You're going to take your block between the upper inner thighs. So, you know, I say do nothing with the caveat that I know that I'm making you do a lot of stuff. You're already enough. I want you to know that. But being an alignment-based teacher, I'm an alignment-based and life-affirming philosophical teacher. So it's all good. And squeeze the block. But I want you to all be healthier. So I believe good alignment makes us healthier. As you squeeze the block, try to take it back like you're a human Pez dispenser. Haven't got it. Like, yeah, okay. And so the front of the hip bones will work towards the thighs. Good. And if you got baby in there, you might even touch the thighs or not. I'm like, oh. Okay, and then go ahead and lift up. So as you come up, stop when you start to round the low back. So just keep the knees bent. Good. Well, all of you are well-practiced yogis. Jessie wasn't lying. Not that I thought she would have. And then squeeze the glutes. Good. Draw your navel. So for you, it's this round ligament area too. Draw the navel back. And then from right in back of the heart, start to straighten your heels. I know that sounds weird. Okay, but from the back of the heart, lift your hips and pour weight over your heels. Yeah. May I be healthy. Come down onto the knees. See, when we keep aligning in this really mindful way, this really mind-blowing, it creates mind-blowing body awareness. In my experience, the alignment, we do work towards more freedom because we can meditate with more ease. And then when you meditate with more ease, you start to become more free. Okay, so may I be free. You can take the block out, bring the hips back towards the heels. Let's try that same version or a different version, same pose, but let's do it with more freedom. Okay, so without the block, lift your hips up to the sky. Get them as high as you can. There's probably more in there, and I'm not asking you to do more because you're not enough. It's just the opposite. You're so mind-blowing more than enough that there's just, I see the potential. So now may you too see the potential and lift the inner groins up, lift the hips up, and then from the back of your heart, send energy back down through your hands, and from the back of your heart, lift up through the hips, tone the glutes, tone the belly, and press all the way down into the heels. There you go. Okay, now walk your hands back towards your feet. Okay, so you're at the back of the mat. You got to grab your blocks. So sorry to make you move around. I guess I could have said, grab your block on the way. Okay. You guys get it, though. It's like rural living. It's like you got to run errands on the way. You know, it's just like on your way back to Uttanasana and grab your block, right? Am I right, though? I'm a Jersey girl. You have everything you need in your backyard. More than you need. Like, you don't want the nuclear power plant back there. But I'll tell you, living up here, it's like I got to stop and get the groceries. I got to stop and make sure I get my teeth checked on the way, all on the way home, you know. Got to go to the veterinarian. Okay, squeeze your inner thighs towards the block. Root down through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. I'm learning and humbled by it all. Reach the hands up. Bring the hands to the heart. I do call York Road Convenience Corridor. It's like the most Jersey thing about this area. I'm telling you, York Road.
It feels like the multiple access highway.
Exactly. There's no jug handles here, though. All right, so press the heels of the hands into the heart, squeeze the block. Good. And then you can repeat the phrase, may I be free. But see, where in your body are you over-efforting where it's limiting you from experiencing more freedom? You know? And some of you are like, but squeezing that damn block. So just try it, let go and see what happens. Or maybe let go a little more to the point where it becomes easeful. Right? We want to steady the easeful energy and the efforting energy. And you might even get the experience when you move into that more balanced place that you're spinning on a dial. It's called Kundalini rising here. And it's when energy is aligned, you become more free and open the channels of your energy, and you start spinning. And inhale and reach the arms up. Clasp the left wrist and then reach the right. Or maybe it's not that you're spinning, but it's a subtle internal energy. It's kind of like, I don't think maybe the yogis truly levitated off the ground. It's possible. Maybe Stu's here to tell us otherwise. But energetically, you feel like you have an outer body experience. I think that's what the stages we're talking about. I have felt that in my meditation practice before. Good. And in birth, I left my body for sure and came back. And in other experiences that we won't mention now. Go ahead and switch. Yeah. All right, draw your elbows back, squeeze the block, and reach to the left. Big crescent moon, the opposite of what nature has out there for us. Have you guys seen the full moon? Oh, it's awesome. And then exhale, bring the hands back. Was it last night or is it tonight?
Well, last night was the girls noticed, like, as soon as.
Okay. I guess it's technically both, can be 2 nights. It's full last night. Good. Oh, okay, good. Keep in charge of that. Okay. Keep track of my menstrual cycle too. Sorry, Stu. Reach. She's not into homework. Good. Exhale. These are funny. Okay, so your hands are to the floor. Squeeze the block. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine, because I do want your hands on the floor. And then lift your inner groins up a little higher. Good. Squeeze the glutes. Tone your belly away from the thighs, and walk the hands 2 or 3 handprints forward. So now you bring the weight of your hips forward. Good, but push the ground away to try to get the weight back into the heels. Okay, lift the inner groins. Create a little space right there at the hip crease and the belly, even if it's just a subtle toning. Good, and then walk the hands 1 or 2 handprints forward. Do it all over again. Come back to the body awareness. Squeeze the block. Lift the sits bones. They'll be happier if you do that. Squeeze the glutes. Good, tone the belly. Straighten the heels, and then 1 or 2 more handprints forward until you're in downward facing dog. Good. But push all the weight back into your heels. So you're less in the hands, more in the heels. Good. Okay. And inhale, shift forward plank pose. Okay. Exhale, come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. So you should be all right for this. Does that feel okay? Yeah, 12 weeks. Yeah, 12 weeks, you're good. Yeah, and then you can come up if you're moved to do a little cobra. And then exhale, you can move the block, unless you're loving it. Bring your arms up, come up onto forearms. Shoulders are right over the elbows. Isometrically drag your fingertips towards the elbows. Press down through the tops of the feet. Good. And then inhale, lift up. So you're on the tops of the feet here. Okay. Tone the glutes, tone the navel back. Press through the heels and the head evenly. Good. And release. That's 1 of 3. You ready? This is what you ladies are working towards. Meg's like, shit. She's like, I was thought. She's post-PhD or about to re-enter next semester, and he'll come up. She's like, Jessie, I thought this is a gentle class. She's like, I thought. She's like, let's just sleep. I really miss my sleep. That's the next session. Good, and release. I promise we'll stretch. She did, just to be fair to Jessie, she did say that someone wanted stretching. I didn't know who. So now.
We're just stretching it.
All right, come on up.
I'm not having a baby. I don't know why I have to work on that.
Good. Release. All right, take the hands next to the chest, curl the toes under. Good. Squeeze the elbows back, lift up. Well, she also said everyone's, fairly good practices. So I'm like, yes, my favorite kind. That I knew you'd be here, Meg. You can't get away from it. I know what you can do. Good. Look up at the hands and hop or step forward, Uttanasana. What? Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, fold. Good. Push down through the feet. Inhale all the way up. Good. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, so bend the elbows, bring the hands in front like this. Good. And then look at the head of the arm bone here. We're just going to bring it back and forward. But notice there's none of this. That is not good for your shoulders. I know why I'm demonstrating it for you. Here, let me hurt myself. Can you all just wish, may you be healthy? May you be healthy. Okay, ready? So take them back, plug it in, and then slide the shoulder blades off. Pull it back. So just being really mindful. Your elbows might widen out a little bit. That's okay. But just keep that action. It's just straight forward and back. There's not really any down happening. Okay. Then once you plug them in, bring your arms like this. Good. Squeeze your elbows in. Oh, elbows in, yeah. Right, we start to get into the upper back. Good. Interlace your hands, press your hands up. Good. And release. Okay, take your block. Next level. You don't have a block at home, you can use a phone book. You can use your cell phone, your iPhone 15. They're going to be this big. The Android version.
The case.
Right, nice and thick. Okay, so here, good, and the same thing. So you're going to slide the shoulder blades off the back, and then pull them on the back. And it's really working the head of this arm bone into that shoulder socket. And if you're doing it with mindfulness, it should bring more health. But if something feels off, like if you feel a sharp pain or like an electric kind of, then just, relax, take a break. There might be a misalignment. And as much as I like to joke with you, I want to work you, I don't want to hurt you. I'm only slightly sadomasochist, which is the one. Sadist. Oh man, this has been like the theme of the day today. Go ahead and bend your elbows. Not that, but all things inappropriate and provocative. I don't know, I must be attracting it or something. Nice, guys. All right, good. Squeeze the blocks too. Thank you so much for hanging in.
Oh,
he seems like he's like, right? I get it.
Oh, he's
the worst of all of us in terms of inappropriate.
Yeah, I sense that. That's why I'm feeling very free.
I have 100% confidence that
Not
I'm
allowed.
not this whole
You're not allowed to talk.
Oh,
Last night I told him, don't talk to me.
and then look who has for teacher. All right, squeeze the elbows. She'll talk for you, don't worry. Good, keep squeezing the block. And curl at the upper back, so right where it's tight. Sometimes we misbehave when we all get together. Good, lift the heart up. And curl at that tight band of muscle. Good, all right, and release. It should feel like work, right? Woo. Okay, so we're gonna bring it down. Who said yoga's for sissies? Okay, so on your forearm, squeeze the block. Outer edge of the hand presses down. Lift the knees up. Good. Okay, hug into the midline. And we'll just hold it, for the rest of the class.
No problem.
Squeeze the glutes. Draw the navel back. Good. And release. Okay, enough of that. So come down into child's pose. You can stretch your arms out if you like that grip. You can hold your hands there. And find a few deep breaths. Repeating the phrases, may I be happy? May I be healthy? May I be free? Okay, so come back to that shape. So your shoulders are over your elbows, and this time you can squeeze the block like this, those of you at home with your iPhone 15. I love it, it's perfect because it's imaginary, right? So they're all like, oh my God. Are you ready? Lift the knees off the floor. Okay, now take the feet a little wider. Squeeze the block in your L shape in the fingers. Press down through the elbows. Good, and then lift the hips high. So like we did at the beginning of class, try to lift the inner groins as high as you can. Good. And then tone the glutes. Good. Lengthen the tailbone and start to walk your feet forward. Push down, down, down through the hands and the forearms. Lift up, up, up through the hips. Walk forward, forward, forward. Just like a millimeter. How about 3 millimeters? I know those are 3 forwards. You can come down. I know. I promise we'll stretch, Meg. This is stretching. Okay, so let me just show you real quickly. So we're here. Start a little bit back. Squeeze the block. And then I push, when I feel like I'm at my limit, there's always a little more. I push down through my hands. Down, down. The hips go higher. And then again, push down through the hands. Lift the hips up. Your turn. Embrace your inner corgi. Jessie has a yoga block with corgis on it. So squeeze the block at the hands. Push down through the hands and the elbows. Lift the inner groins. Good, Meg. And then just tiptoe those feet forward. Forward, forward, forward can be slow progress. I mean, how old is the earth? Walk the feet back. What'd you say? Yeah, girl. Look at her. Be careful. Your demonstration material. You better watch it with that. Doesn't know what she's getting herself into. Sit back into child's pose a few breaths. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free. You can hold my ankles. Yep, squeeze them. So, lady. Okay, so we're going to come to the wall, the short edge of the yoga mat. We'll do fun things. So you need your blanket, blocks, and a mat. You could probably all fit along here, or at least 4 of you. And actually, Sue, you can be right here at this wall, short edge of the mat. Okay. And I will come here. All right, so let's resituate ourselves. Oh, the shoulder? Oh, good. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, so block and blankets. I have to grab something from my hair real quickly. There it is. If you're all wondering what I'm doing, my mom is coming to pick up my library card. She's watching my little one, and I just remembered, I didn't get it for her. Okay, sorry. Okay, now my friends, let's do a little wall play here, if you trust me. So the first thing we're gonna do, turn off the heat. And then the second thing we're gonna do is bring the left foot forward and curl the toes under, press the right foot into the wall. Okay, yeah, you can pad your knee if you'd like. Yeah, you can. I'm not mirroring you guys, I don't think, am I? Yeah, I'm not. But that here, Meg, you're so used to me mirroring you. There you go. So you bring your left foot forward. But you gotta be against the wall. Do what your girls are doing. Left leg forward. You're awesome. She's like, and I have a PhD. Oh, are you? All right, awesome. Robin, do you know rights and lefts? Because I don't. Yeah, I guess it works out though. Right. She's like, I just need to diagnose, like, croup. All right, so you're gonna bring your hips towards the wall. As you bring your hips towards the wall, take the inner groins back. Good, and just get your ribs as close to your thigh as you can. Okay, now, keeping that, tone the glutes, shift the hips forward. So it's really this back leg needs to stay engaged. Shift forward, get the spine tall again, and sweep the arms up. Okay, so I'm wearing the wrong pants for it, but like if we disengage that front thigh, let's see if I can get it for you guys. It would be like, it would like pop forward like this, but we're trying to keep that engaged, the psoas, my fave. Good, one more breath. Full heart offering. Good. And then come back down, okay? So now it's gonna start to get real fun here fast. All right, so the block will come to, oops, gotta scooch this out of the way, right to the quadricep insertion. So it is not on the knee, it is just in front of the knee. It should be a little uncomfortable and a little awkward. Yeah, so I mean, everyone will have a different height. Yeah, it's right. It's totally the facial expression I make. It's like, oh, right. It's yoga. We do a lot of not normal things, at least in my classes. Okay, so push out through the heel, push down through the quad, and then curl up. So basically this forces that back leg to stay engaged. Yeah. And Meg to never trust Jessie again. And she goes, a group gentle class, I swear. Okay, I'm gonna be these.
You can have 5 minutes of open season. Just lock your Shavasana.
Okay, so switch. He's doing good. I'm impressed. Right, like, I'm trying to provoke him.
So,
I do this every 26 days.
I know, I'm impressed.
No.
Okay, so right leg forward. I am mirroring you for Meg's sake. For Meg's sake. Having too much. No, it's good. It's good to know who you are. Okay, so shift forward. Yep, right up against the wall. Push through your heel. Bring your butt towards the wall. So you come out of the pose a little bit. And take the inner groin way back. All right. Good. That's it. Keep bringing the butt towards the wall so the inner groins are soft. Good. Then shift forward, keeping that back leg engaged. Push through the left heel, but then bring the right shin forward and then reach the arms up. Do your best to keep that back leg engaged. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free. May Shavasana come soon. all the good things and desires of your heart. May they come true. And release. You guys are fun. Okay, so now the not so fun thing. You can move the blanket. And it's right there at the quad insertion. It's really quite lovely. Right there. Okay, and fold the hands up at the front thigh. Push down through the thigh. This is called stretching. Not that I'm trying to be a smart ass, but oops. I said I'm from Jersey, right? So push down through the quad, push back through the heel. Oh, man. It's true. It's so true. Yes. I use the Jersey card. It's true, Stu. I'm a bridge and tunnel girl. Okay. So how are you guys doing? Good? Okay. All right, so it's just gonna get better. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. All right, so here, we're gonna fold the yoga mat. All right, and let me demonstrate this one first. So at home, if you have a blanket, that's a good thing. If not, I'll show you a different way you can do this. Okay, so you might need your blocks, but you're gonna come into hamstring stretch. So you'll start here and then pull back like this. Okay, so here and then here. I think that's the library card grabber. Okay, so it's left foot at the wall. Hi, sweet boy. Oh, this is Brooks. Would you like to say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, come on, bro.
You're so much bigger than when I saw you last.
Do you want to practice some yoga?
I'm 6.
Because you're 6 now, I know.
And I got flint and steel.
Flint and steel, are you gonna make fires? Awesome.
You're fine. You're fine. It's such a sweet pleasure. They're mamas. They get it. Well, we're going to complete our yoga class. Okay, you have fun at the library. I'm going to pick you up. I love you. Bye. Thank you so much for visiting. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye, Mima. Okay, sorry about that. Are you serious? He still tries to nurse.
Like, you know what would be,
It's horrible.
remember what we did back then? That was funny.
Yeah.
No, he
Okay, ready? Right leg.
called me Booby Tartanian.
Oh, that's awesome. Does he still call you that?
No, he has forgotten that hilarious joke.
Okay. Oh man, that would get old, I think.
I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, my son still tries to I'm like, you know what? Just boundaries, you know? All right, ready? So you can use the blocks or the floor, and then you're dragging the heel towards the sits bone. So this is actually a lot of core. And again, we're trying to take the hips back to the wall. So we want to keep the low back. Yeah, it's tons of core. So be careful, mama. Yeah.
How's that back leg? What do you do?
So the toes are curled under. I'm pressing against the wall and coming up. Right. Right, there you go. Yep. Tons of core. So this is where you really want to practice. May I be happy? So pull the core back. Oh. Yeah, and actually, well, right. And when you're pregnant, you don't want a ton of core. So you just like a little bit here, just enough to get those round ligaments to pull back. That's perfect. And then come back down. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
He doesn't want to work on his round ligaments.
All right, switch. All right, stretch the left leg in front. You can use blocks or the floor. Yeah, right. So the power comes, it's like this stretch we did in the beginning, you know, when you guys were here. So you're really pressing through that back heel and then pulling the navel back, drawing the inner groins up and back. And it doesn't matter if you come an inch off the floor all the way to straight legs. Still get the same thing out of it. We did. We moved already to the other side.
Did you switch?
Okay, here we go.
All right, you're 5 minutes up.
I think this is all right. Okay, good. And release. All right, so you can go ahead and come into child's pose. We're just throwing in the child poses for Meg. You're holding my ankles, Jesse. Good. Should help your low back. Good. Okay, and release. Okay. So the play will bring us to dolphin pose. There's all different levels to do. So there's the first is just the prep work for it. So the first would be an L shape at the wall. Okay, so I'm putting my heels down just to know where my hands are gonna go. All right, so you sit up against the wall and then you place the heels of the hands where your heels were. So watch the prep. I come here into the short down dog. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free. And then place my foot and I'm slowly pulling the inner groins back. And this might be it. That's awesome. Okay, lots of core there. If you want to keep going, hips over the shoulders. You cannot bring this leg up. I was telling my advanced class this morning, I was like, you're not allowed to bring your leg up until you get your hips over your shoulders. And then if you do get to that point, you can do this. All right. But this work, what's most important is that you're just finding, it takes a lot of core, just finding this. And it's both direction. You're pushing through the wall and down through here to pull this back. Okay. So you try. Yay. And allow the practice to inform you at this point, because when we do start to get into the murky waters of more advanced poses, right, it's really important to just watch the thinking mind, right? Watch the ego. It'll do interesting things, but just let yourself be very present. May I be happy? May I be healthy? That's all you really want for yourself. So if you're gritting your way through this and you're going to hurt yourself, that's not working towards may I be happy. And then bring one foot about as high as the hip, dig your finger pads into the floor, and then just push through that heel and see if you can lift the opposite foot, maybe an inch off the floor. Maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches. Good. Yeah, Robin, awesome. Look at your green streak. Wow, I love it. That's good. Works on you. Okay, so the other side. Let's go real slow. Yeah, Meg. Slow is good. Yeah, you can do it now. Yep. Your hips can come forward a little more. There you go. Yeah, lady. With the cool tights. Right, Robin? Yeah, she was working it. I know, man. Totally. Good. Come on, Justin, baby. That's good. Yeah, totally.
Just remember.
Great, Robin. I can remember doing like headstands when I was pregnant, and yeah, people were always like, "Oh my God, your baby!" I'm like, "I'm a professional. It's okay." You know. Okay, so then the next level of play is to do this. So this is why we were working this earlier. And you're right up against the wall. It'll get interesting with the mantle there for me. But I'm a professional. Okay, so we already worked this. And it's important that you're not rounding in the shoulders, right? So I like to look forward so my shoulders pull in a little more. And then you crawl up. And you might just practice this, right? And then bring one down, bring the other up. And if you want to come up, do this. Okay, the key is to try to get your hips back over the shoulders before you come up. All right, so no. Would it be helpful to see it the other way real quick? Okay, so. I didn't come down with as much grace. Okay, but core and hips. So many people in this pose freak out and they end up throwing this forward, but this actually has to stay back. Okay, so face the wall. And I'm here to help too. So if you're like, I kind of want to go up, but I'm scared, bring your fear with you like a baby. Your dad's real nervous, Jesse. He's like, my baby's in there. No, he's like my grandbaby. Okay, that's true. All right, so go ahead and lift the hips up. So here, Ravid, give me one leg. Ready? If you trust me. Okay, so this is going to be weird, but push down through your ankle. Yeah. Right. That was great. It was fun. Yeah. So there's a lot of control in the core. And if you lift from deep in the core and not just like through your feet flying up into it, it'll feel less scary. Nice, Jesse. Yeah. Good open heart too. Your upper back is open. Brevin, do you want me to support you here?
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Okay. So come back. You were doing just fine. So just, come on back to that shape you were just in. Okay. And so what you're going to do is push your ankle into my hand. Yeah. Push this leg down. Push that leg down. Oh, no, we don't want that. Meg, will you do a demo? With that what? Oh, you'll end up coming to your head? Yeah, okay, well, right. So I don't think right. I actually think your arms are strong. Let me just get that for the record cleared. That was just me speaking too fast. But let me say this right. I understand you don't think that you're strong enough. I do think you're strong enough. But let's just play and see where we can go with it. So squeeze the block, because sometimes your head will touch the block. But squeeze the block here. Press down. I mean, I watched you do the plank push-ups and the down dogs, and you were just really strong in here. So let's just try it. Lift your hips up. Be happy. You guys send her the metta. May you be healthy. Lift one leg, whichever one you want. Just keep pushing straight down through those arms, Meg. May you be free. Keep pushing straight down. You've got it. And then push into my hand here. Yeah. That was good. Yeah. So I bet without the block, you would hold yourself up more. Because, the block is...
It makes me nervous. Like I'm gonna fall
Yeah. So try it without it. Do you want to try it without it? Okay, so we're going to try it without it. Something to play with at home, right? All right. So she's look at her heart, and her hips are so close. She almost can already bring both legs up. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So something to work on next session, right? It's all good. It's all good. Jesse, lift one leg up. I'm not going to make you come all the way up, but see her heart? Her shoulders are over the elbows, and her hips are darn close to being over her shoulders. Now press through my hand. Yeah, but just there. Look at her. That's it. That's it. That's what we're going for. That's it. Yeah, girl. Yep. Okay. So it is arm strength, but it's core. It's like, yeah. Yeah. So for so long I did that pose, and it seems like this is exciting because it seems like for a lot of you this is like maybe a new pose. Is it? Yeah. So first of all, thank you for the honor. Like seriously, it's really exciting. And I just want to tell you, like, you're amazing. The fact that you're trying all this, and it took me years to understand like the concept that I'm trying to teach you guys. I mean, when I would first come up into this pose, it was all like I wasn't engaging my legs. I was like, whoa, But after a while, I was like, okay, what if I just used my core? And this is just awareness. Core. So there's just a more controlled way, but my legs are all engaged. So good job. Whew. Come back to the middle of the room. We gotta get some stretching in. 2020, Pincha Mayurasana. So now next time you guys schedule class, Jesse's like after the feedback, Jesse's gonna be like, yeah, everyone's like entry level, just like beginner.
The last intermediate class that I went to, I distinctly remember Megan being like, oh my God.
Yeah, all right, so come back to the middle of the room. It has regulars. You guys are clearly irregular. I mean, let's be honest. I'm just gonna scoot this to the side. Okay. Here's the blanket, love. All right, so come back to the middle of the room. One more downward facing dog, just because I love them so. I think I took your homework by accident, Meg. Don't forget. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find your breath. At some point in the practice, we can dedicate our pose, our practice to someone else. You know, it's also a really sweet way of beginning the practice of surrender, saying, this is not mine. You know, motherhood, fatherhood is like that, right? It's like, oh, this isn't totally my life. So here in this pose, you might think of someone who comes to mind. Just the first person. You can practice metta thousands of times. The first person. And then in this pose, I'm purposely having you guys hold it because I'm sure it's a little tiring. But now dedicate this to someone else and say, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free. And sincerely mean it with your whole heart that this is what you desire for them. And you truly believe that they are deserving of total happiness, total health, and absolute freedom. And come down into child's pose and see what it feels like just to, with as much saucha, with as much purity, pureness of heart and mind, what does it feel like to wish someone well wholeheartedly? And to the point where you're energetically, maybe you're at your limit. Maybe you're at that edge where fatigue or, you know, other less favorable feelings are setting in. And then with your whole heart to offer the practice to someone else. So breath, I'm gonna hold my ankles. And just so you know, the practice of loving kindness, yep, squeeze. Like if you are so tired and past that point, or, you know, maybe like a negative thought has creeped in, you can always go back to offering it to yourself. It's important to know when you need to give to yourself and when you need to give to others. So you can also say, may I be happy? May I be healthy? And may I be free? Or you can send that loving kindness to someone else. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now then come up to seated. You guys got a lot done. Impressed. Sit in any way that's comfortable. Do a little bit of pranayama, some breathing. So there's 3 chambers of the breath. We have the belly, the ribs, and the chest. So we'll work on inflating each chamber, isolating each chamber one at a time. So bring your hands here to the belly. Maybe the middle fingers touch. And relax down into your hips, down into your belly. And repeat the part of metta where you just say, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free. And mean it with your whole heart that you are truly deserving of this. And then bring your hands to the rib cage, just anywhere along the ribs you can touch. And focus on expanding the ribs. Repeating the mantra. And then bring your hands up to the top chest. Rest your fingertips on the collarbones. Breathe up into your hands, just focusing on that top chest opening. The collarbones lift and widen. Any tension around the shoulder socket, the pectorals stretch open. As you breathe up into your hands, also relax and release the upper back. And you can even think about breathing into the upper palate. Repeating the phrases. And maybe you're at the point where rather than repeating the words in your mind's eye, picturing the words, you can just feel into the essence. What is contentment, total health, and freedom? What's the felt sense of that in the upper chest? And it may mean to soften your listening and let my words fade away into effortless and just feel into the energy moving through the body and in and around the room. Go ahead and relax the hands into the lap. And then you can bring your thumb and pointer finger together, palms down. We're going to move through those three chambers, but all at once. So you'll breathe through the belly and then up through the ribs, 2 counts each, and then up into the chest. And then at the top of the inhalation, we're just going to pause. It's a gentle retention of the breath. And then each time we pause, we'll send out metta. Okay? So you can take a moment to just think about someone. It can be the same person from before or just a new person popped into your mind. It could be the cashier that helped you at the grocery store today. It could be your dog, your mama. And then just once you really get a full picture of them, and picture, where are they when they're happy or healthy, free? Envision them in that total peaceful state. And then exhale the breath, coming back to the exercise of the breath here. Exhale completely. And then inhale 2 counts into the belly. 2 counts into the ribs. 2 counts into the chest. And then pause, tone the pelvic floor muscles up, creating a great container. Surrender a little bit in the back body, lean back. Repeating the phrases, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free. And exhale the breath. Let's try again. Ready? Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Draw the pelvic floor muscles up. And tilt the chin slightly to the chest as you repeat, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free. And exhale. A couple more times on your own. Focusing first on the inhalation through each chamber. On the top of the inhalation, a gentle pause, sending out metta. You can blink the eyes open, relax the breathing, stretch the legs out. Take your hand to the upper hamstring and then the other hand to the inner thigh and draw the flesh of the inner thigh down to the floor and then the butt out of the way. And watch your internal languaging when I say get the butt out of the way. Good, sit tall. Good, and reach the arms up.